Act as if you are the best. Because in this world, power is not granted, inherited, or politely requested. Power is seized. Power is embodied. Power is performed long before it is proven. The world crowns the man who already walks as if he wears the crown. That is the Machiavellian blueprint, not to wait for validation, but to create a presence is so undeniable that validation becomes irrelevant. Understand this truth. No one is better than you unless you agree to it. Superiority is not a measurement, it's a mindset. And the man who internalizes this becomes unstoppable. Not because the world hands him a throne, but because he sits on one even when it's invisible. The lion is not king because the jungle voted. The lion is king because he behaves like one. His presence announces him before his roar does. His conviction arrives before his claws. That's what you must learn to cultivate. Presence before performance. Belief before achievement. Your aura must communicate what your words never need to say. Every step you take must be slow, calculated, heavy with intention. Every silence must feel like a statement. Every glance must convey that you are not here to be compared, you are here to be recognized. People follow dominance, not correctness. People obey confidence, not qualifications. People trust certainty, even when it's an illusion. So create that illusion until it becomes reality. Machiavelli understood a truth most never grasp. The world bends not to the strongest, but to the most certain. When you act as if you are the best, you force others to adjust themselves around that belief. Their doubts strengthen your presence. Their hesitation amplifies your certainty. Their insecurity becomes the backdrop that makes your composure shine brighter. The weak ask, "Am I good enough?" The powerful declare, "No one is above me." That declaration doesn't make you arrogant, it makes you inevitable. Move with quiet domination. Carry yourself as though you already won long before the game began. Walk into every room with a calm that says, "I belong here more than anyone else." That's not delusion, that's psychological strategy. Because once you treat your presence as undeniable, the world slowly accepts it as truth. Act as if you are untouchable, not loudly, not boastfully, but naturally. Speak only when necessary. Silence is your crown. Let your stillness become the language of power. Let your confidence radiate without effort, without apology. Remember, the man who carries himself like a king becomes one long before he sits on a throne. Confidence is the currency of power. Certainty is the architecture of influence. Presence is the foundation of dominance. So engrave this into your identity. You are the standard. You are the reference point. You are the one they cannot compare because you do not exist on their level. This is not arrogance. This is strategy. This is self-mythology. This is power rehearsed until it becomes power possessed. Act as if you are the best, because when you do, the world has no choice but to follow your lead. Power does not belong to the strongest man. It belongs to the man who cannot be emotionally shaken. The world breaks easily those who feel too quickly, react too loudly, or expose themselves too openly. Understand this. Your emotions are pressure points. If others can see them, they can press them. If others can trigger them, they can steer you. If others can predict them, they can defeat you. Machiavelli taught that a leader does not need to be loved or feared as much as he needs to be unreadable. Because the unreadable man is unmanipulatable, and the unmanipulatable man is untouchable. The man who cannot control himself cannot control his destiny. He is a puppet waiting for the right strings to be pulled, a storm waiting for the right wind to scatter him. You must become the opposite. You must become the calm inside the storm, the eye of the hurricane, silent, still, unbothered while everything spins around you. When someone tries to provoke you, see it as a test. If you react, you fail. If you stay composed, you dominate. Your lack of reaction is a weapon. It frustrates the insecure, it unsettles the emotional, it silences the confrontational. Understand the mechanics of power. People expect reactions. People crave validation. People feed on responses. When you give them nothing, they starve, and eventually, they submit. A calm man in a world of impulsive men becomes a psychological giant. His silence becomes heavy. His presence becomes magnetic. His restraint becomes terrifying. Control your impulses. Control your facial expressions. Control your breathing. Control your tone. Control your posture.
Carry emotional neutrality like armor. When someone insults you, remain unmoved. When someone questions you, answer slowly. When someone pressures you, give them stillness. The man who controls his emotions controls the pace of every interaction. He dictates the rhythm. He influences the tone. He sets the frame. He pulls people into his world and makes them operate on his terms. Never let anyone think they can read you. Never let anyone think they can provoke you. Never let anyone think they can predict you. Emotional discipline is the highest form of self-respect. It is the purest form of strength. It is the line that separates the rulers from the ruled. Be cold, not cruel. Be calm, not passive. Be intentional, not reactive. When you master your inner world, the outer world becomes effortless. When you are no longer controlled by emotion, you are no longer controlled by anyone. And remember this, a man who is ruled by feelings is easy to break. A man who rules his feelings is impossible to bend. Detachment is not coldness. It is clarity. It is the ability to stand above your own impulses, above the noise of the world, above the chaos that consumes ordinary men. Most people drown in their attachments. They cling to opinions, cling to validation, cling to outcomes, cling to people who don't deserve them. And in that clinging, they weaken themselves. They reveal desperation. They reveal dependency. They reveal their vulnerabilities. Power requires the opposite. Power requires the ability to walk away, mentally, emotionally, physically, without hesitation. Because the man who can walk away is the man who cannot be controlled. Detachment is not coldness. It is clarity. It is the ability to stand above your own impulses, above the noise of the world, above the chaos that consumes ordinary men. Most people drown in their attachments. They cling to opinions, cling to validation, cling to outcomes, cling to people who don't deserve them. And in that clinging, they weaken themselves. They reveal desperation. They reveal dependency. They reveal their vulnerabilities. Power requires the opposite. Power requires the ability to walk away, mentally, emotionally, physically, without hesitation. Because the man who can walk away is the man who cannot be controlled. Detachment is not coldness. It is clarity. It is the ability to stand above your own impulses, above the noise of the world, above the chaos that consumes ordinary men. When you are detached, you stop taking things personally. You stop overthinking. You stop drowning in what-ifs. You stop chasing. You stop fearing loss. You begin to operate from position, not emotion. From power, not insecurity. From abundance, not desperation. You must cultivate the following forms of detachment. Do not attach your worth to anyone. Care for them, value them, appreciate them, but never depend on them. The moment someone senses your emotional reliance, you lose leverage. The moment you show that you need them, you lose respect. Admiration comes from a man who chooses, not from a man who clings. Plans are useful. Attachments to plans are deadly. When you attach yourself to a single outcome, you blind yourself to all alternatives. Life shifts, adapt with it. Power belongs to the man who can pivot without losing himself. Your ego is a fragile throne. Your discipline is a fortress. Detach from the need to appear right, to appear superior, to appear unshakable. Be unshakable. Don't act it. True strength is silent. True confidence doesn't need display. Not every battle deserves your presence. Not every insult deserves your time. Not every challenge is worthy of a king. The higher you climb, the more selective your battles become. Respond only when necessary. Withdraw when appropriate. Let your distance speak louder than your retaliation. Your emotions are not commands. They are suggestions. Observe them without obeying them. Notice them without bowing to them. This creates a psychological distance that allows you to choose your actions with surgical precision. Once you master detachment, you become unreadable, unpredictable, untouchable. People cannot manipulate a man who is not hooked by their words, their approval, or their reactions. They cannot steer a man who has no emotional strings to pull. They cannot break a man who is not chained to anything. Detachment makes you mentally higher than those around you. They drown in the river while you stand above it, watching the current, understanding its patterns, choosing where and when to step. This is how kings operate. This is how strategists survive. This is how powerful men rise above the noise. You must understand this truth. The man who feels everything loses to the man who observes everything. The man who reacts loses to the man who waits. The man who attaches loses to the man who chooses. Detachment is not escape. It is elevation. It is the state from which all true power emerges.
Silence is one of the most underestimated forces in the world. Weak men fear silence because it exposes them. Strong men use silence because it empowers them. Powerful men weaponize silence because it controls others. Understand this deeply. Silence is not the absence of communication. It is the highest form of it. It is pressure. It is weight. It is presence. It is dominance without effort. Most men talk too much. They explain themselves, justify themselves, defend themselves, announce themselves. In doing so, they leak power. Every unnecessary word is a drop of control spilled on the floor. The Machiavellian man moves differently. He speaks only when strategy demands it. He listens more than he speaks. He observes more than he reacts. He allows silence to do what words cannot, reveal the true nature of others. When you remain silent, people cannot tolerate a void. When you give them silence, they fill it with their thoughts, their fears, their intentions, their insecurities. You learn everything by saying nothing. You extract information without interrogation. You gain insight without effort. Silence is a mirror. People expose themselves in it. Your silence becomes a question they desperately want answered. Your silence becomes a judgment they fear. Your silence becomes a presence they cannot ignore. People project onto your silence whatever they fear the most, and this gives you control without speaking a word. The man who is silent gains the upper hand simply by allowing others to crumble under the weight of their own uncertainty. When you speak rarely, your words carry weight. People listen, people adjust, people remember. Your speech becomes a currency, scarce, precious, authoritative. The fewer your words, the louder they become. A man who talks little is respected. A man who talks only with intention is feared. Predictability is weakness. It makes you readable, controllable, and easy to manipulate. Silence breaks these patterns. It makes others unsure of your thoughts, unsure of your motives, unsure of your next move. Uncertainty is psychological dominance. The unknown commands more respect than the obvious. People cannot attack what they cannot define. People cannot twist what you never said. People cannot counter a position you never voiced. Silence shields you better than any argument. It makes you untouchable, because there is nothing to grab onto. The quiet man is always the one people study. They wonder what he is thinking. They wonder if he is judging them. They wonder if he sees more than he reveals. This mystery creates gravity, a pull that draws people toward you, even if they don't understand why. Your silence makes you larger than the room. It makes your presence felt even when you do nothing. Silence slows everything down. It forces others to wait. It forces others to adapt. It forces others to dance around your rhythm instead of imposing their own. Power is not just in what you say. It's in how long you can hold your silence without flinching. Understand this truth. Words are tools. Silence is a weapon, and the man who knows when to use each becomes unstoppable. Do not rush to respond. Do not reveal emotion through words. Do not try to fill empty spaces. Let the silence sit. Let it grow. Let it create pressure. Let others feel the weight of your presence. Because a man who is comfortable in silence is a man who is comfortable with himself. And a man who is comfortable with himself is someone the world cannot shake. Speak less. See more. Control the air around you. Make silence your throne. Predictable men are easy to manage, easy to provoke, easy to outmaneuver. Their patterns expose them. Their routines define them. Their reactions betray them. And because they are consistent in all the wrong ways, they become transparent. But the unpredictable man? He is a psychological anomaly. He is the variable no one can solve, the equation with missing pieces, the presence that disrupts the patterns of everyone around him. He is studied, respected, and feared, because he moves differently. Understand this: a man who cannot be predicted cannot be controlled. A man who cannot be controlled becomes a force that bends the environment around him.
Machiavelli understood this truth deeply. To maintain power, you must never allow people to fully understand you. Once they think they know you, they will attempt to limit you. Once they think they can predict you, they will attempt to use you. Once they think they can anticipate you, they will attempt to undermine you. So you must build a mind and a presence that no one can map. Here's how. Never respond the same way twice. If someone insults you, stay silent one day, smirk the next, walk away the next. Let people guess which version of you they are dealing with. Keep them mentally off balance. Predictability is permission. Unpredictability is dominance. A man who talks about his goals cheapens them. A man who keeps his goals hidden multiplies their impact. Let your achievements speak with the shock of a sudden strike. Move quietly, execute loudly. Reveal nothing until it is irreversible. Don't let people know who you like, what you want, what you fear, or what you plan. Mystery is leverage. Uncertainty is psychological weight. The less people know about your desires, the more they will try to win your approval. The less you show interest, the more valuable your attention becomes. Sometimes you are intense. Sometimes you are quiet. Sometimes you are warm. Sometimes you are distant. Not randomly, strategically. Your adaptability must look like unpredictability to those who lack awareness. They will constantly adjust to you, instead of you adjusting to them. When you shift, others scramble to rebalance. That scramble is control. Answer questions without answering them. Express meaning without stating it directly. Leave your sentences open, layered, interpretable. Ambiguity forces others to think harder. Thinking harder creates tension. Tension creates respect. Men who explain everything lose power. Men who imply everything gain it. Your reactions create your map. Once someone knows what irritates you, excites you, scares you, or pressures you, they own a piece of your mind. Stay unreactive. Stay unreadable. Stay internally independent. Make people believe you have no triggers at all. A man without visible triggers is a man without visible weaknesses. Appear when the timing benefits you. Withdraw when your absence creates value. Speak when your silence has done its job. Act when your action will have maximum psychological effect. The element of surprise is not chaos, it is precision. Be the man who can be calm and cold one day, focused and intense the next. Not because you are unstable, but because you are multifaceted. One-dimensional men are easy to understand. Multidimensional men are impossible to anticipate. When your personality has layers, no one can predict which layer you will use, and this makes you a moving target, mentally elusive, strategically powerful. Mystery is not created by silence alone. It is created by emotional minimalism. Even when you feel strongly, show little. Even when you care, reveal nothing. Even when you plan deeply, keep your expressions light. A man with visible emotions is readable. A man with hidden emotions is untouchable. Surprise is psychological force. When you act in ways that others cannot predict, they stop trying to decode you and start adapting to you. This gives you control over the dynamic, and control over the dynamic is the root of dominance. Understand this final truth. People fear what they cannot anticipate. People respect what they cannot easily understand. People follow what they cannot fully map. Become the question no one can answer. Become the pattern no one can trace. Become the variable that changes the equation simply by existing in it. Unpredictability is not chaos, it is strategy. And a strategic mystery is a psychological weapon. Influence is not about force. It is not about dominance alone. It is not about intimidation. Those are blunt forms of power, useful but limited. If you want psychological gravity, the type that makes people gravitate toward you, trust you, reveal themselves to you, you must master the art of mirroring. Mirroring is one of the most powerful social techniques in existence. It creates rapport without effort, trust without history, connection without vulnerability. It is subtle, invisible, and deeply effective because people do not notice it being done, yet they feel its effects instantly. People don't bond with you because you are impressive. People bond with you because they feel understood. And mirroring is the technique that makes them feel exactly that. Seen, recognized, connected to you. Here is how you master it. If someone speaks softly,
lower your voice. If someone speaks quickly, increase your pace. If someone is serious, become composed. If someone is light-hearted, loosen your posture. This creates subconscious alignment. People feel that you get them without knowing why. Tone is the emotional signature of a person. Match it, and you match their psychology. People bond with those who reflect their internal tempo. Someone anxious cannot relax around someone too calm. Someone calm cannot open up to someone too chaotic.
When you match a person's energy, you blend with their emotional environment. This makes them instinctively trust you. But remember, you only mirror enough to establish rapport, not to lose your own frame. If they lean slightly forward, you lean slightly forward. If they slow their gestures, you slow yours. If they relax their shoulders, you subtly relax yours. Do not copy, echo. Mirroring body language is not mimicry, it's rhythm synchronization. When two people's bodies align, their minds begin to align. People bond through familiarity. When you adopt their preferred phrasing, not excessively, but strategically, they feel understood. Example, if they say, "It's frustrating," respond with, "I get why that would be frustrating." Not annoying, not difficult, not hard. Use their emotional dictionary. Why? Because people trust those who speak their internal language. If they love something, show controlled curiosity, not enthusiasm, curiosity. Enthusiasm can be misread as neediness. Curiosity communicates attention without attachment. Say, "Interesting. What do you like about it?" Not, "I love that too," even if you do. Your goal is to draw them out, not to mirror passion excessively. If someone values loyalty, emphasize consistency. If someone values ambition, emphasize discipline. If someone values freedom, emphasize independence. People follow those who reflect their worldview. The key is to align with the underlying value, not necessarily the surface-level opinion. Opinions differ. Values bind. The greatest manipulators use mirroring not instantly, but after a delay. Instant mirroring can be detected subconsciously. Delayed mirroring, a few seconds, a few minutes, sometimes later in the conversation, feels natural. This is advanced. It requires attention, presence, and timing. But when mastered, it creates powerful rapport with zero suspicion. Some people talk in short statements. Match it. Some speak in long, layered explanations. Match it. Some pause often. Match it. Conversation is not just language. It is rhythm. When rhythms align, trust is created. Mirroring is rhythm control. Mirroring creates rapport, but rapport creates influence. Influence creates leadership. Once rapport is established, begin to slightly shift your own rhythm. If they mirror back, even subtly, you have taken the lead. This is how power transfers. First, you reflect their world. Then you guide them into yours. Mirroring is not about becoming someone else. It's about aligning just enough to slip past their psychological defenses. Your presence must remain grounded. Your demeanor must stay balanced. Your frame must stay intact. Mirroring opens the door, but your self-control keeps you in the king's position. Understand this. People follow those who make them feel understood, not judged. People open up to those who reflect their mental wavelength. People trust those who mirror their reality without threatening it. Mirroring is the art of creating invisible connection. It is how you enter someone's mind without force. It is how you guide someone without pushing. It is how you become influential without being obvious.
Influence built through pressure breaks. Influence built through reflection lasts. This is psychological gravity. Not loud, not aggressive, not forceful, but undeniable. Every interaction is a contest of realities. Not loud, not violent, not obvious, but silent, subtle, psychological. Two worlds meet, and only one becomes the dominant narrative. This is called the frame. Most men walk into situations absorbing the atmosphere around them. They bend to the tone in the room. They respond to the emotions of others. They react to pressure instead of generating it. They move through life as passengers inside someone else's reality. You are not here to be a passenger. You are here to become the gravity that everything else orbits. The frame is not control over others. It is control over yourself so completely that others feel it. It is self-command so pronounced that people unconsciously adjust to your presence. It is the quiet force of a man who knows himself without asking permission. Here is how you build a frame that bends the world. Your emotional state must be anchored, not tossed around by circumstances. When others get tense, you remain composed. When others rush, you move deliberately. When others panic, you breathe slower. You become the calm at the center of the storm. People gravitate towards stability. People follow the man who remains unmoved. Your steadiness becomes the strongest presence in the room. A room without leadership defaults to chaos. A room with many voices defaults to noise. But a room with a single grounded presence defaults to direction. This is not done by speaking first. This is done by being first. Your posture sets the tone. Your silence sets the tone. Your pacing sets the tone. Before you speak, the room must already feel your presence. A fast reaction is rarely a powerful one. When you respond slowly, you signal internal abundance, time, thought, control. Slow responses create psychological weight. Fast responses leak power. Let your words feel like the result of thought, not impulse. People trust the man who speaks with intention. Anyone can be calm when life is calm. Strength is measured in chaos. When tension rises, you lower your shoulders. When voices elevate, yours stays steady. When others lose themselves, you find clarity.
This is not suppression. It is disciplined sovereignty over your own impulses. Your composure becomes proof of your competence. Most people drown because they see the water from within it. You must see it from a higher vantage, from above the noise, above the tension, above the emotional fog. This mental altitude gives you advantage. It allows you to understand before reacting. It gives you foresight instead of hindsight. A man with perspective becomes a man with authority. You don't need to explain your standards. Live them. You don't need to warn people how to treat you. Show them through your choices. Walk away from what diminishes you. Stand firm in what aligns with you. Boundaries are not lines you draw. They are lines you embody. Once you embody them, people feel them before you say anything. A man without values is foam on the waves, directionless, temporary, easily shaped. A man with values becomes a pillar. Not rigid, not brittle, but rooted. Your principles must be chosen, not inherited. Lived, not preached. Demonstrated, not shouted. Consistency creates respect. Integrity creates gravity. Never match the chaos around you. Set the emotional temperature instead. Let others absorb your calm, not the other way around. You lead through internal control, not external force. People rise or soften to the level of the environment you create. This is the quiet form of power that builds loyalty, trust, and influence without coercion. You don't dominate a room by being the loudest. You dominate it by being the most centered. Stillness becomes a message. Groundedness becomes magnetism. Composure becomes command. Presence is not how much space you take up. Presence is how much space you influence by simply existing. Your life must feel like a place of order, depth, intention, and clarity. Not perfection, direction. Not flawlessness, focus. People follow direction. People follow depth. People follow the man who knows where he stands and where he is going. Your frame is not about bending others. It is about standing so firmly in yourself that others naturally align. A strong frame doesn't drag people. A strong frame pulls them. Understand this. Power is not the ability to control the world. Power is the ability to control yourself so fully that the world adjusts. You are not here to overpower others. You are here to become the reference point, the axis, the stable center in a world full of trembling hands. This is the quiet architecture of influence. This is the internal blueprint of leadership. This is the kind of power that cannot be taken because it is built from within. This is where all the lessons converge. All the discipline, the detachment, the silence, the presence, the unpredictability, and the mastery of yourself culminate in a single truth. You are your own throne. No one gives power. No one hands respect. No one decides your worth. You claim it. You build it. You live it. The untouchable man is not defined by how others react to him. He is defined by how he commands himself. Every choice you make, every habit you build, every boundary you enforce, these are the bricks of your empire. Every moment you refuse to bend to fear, to doubt, to need, these are the pillars of your legacy. The final ascension is simple. You act as if you are already complete. You walk as if nothing can sway you. You breathe as if the world already answers to your presence. This is the state beyond validation, beyond comparison, beyond competition. This is the man who moves through life untouched, unwavering, inevitable. Power is not in the crown, the title, or the applause. Power is in the mastery of self, and the man who masters himself is unstoppable. So rise, stand tall, move with certainty, speak with weight, act with inevitability. Type it in the comments, seal it as a contract with your own future. I am untouchable. I am inevitable. I am the one who cannot be replaced. This is your final ascension. This is the embodiment of the Machiavellian truth. Power is not given. It is claimed. It is earned. It is become. You are no longer chasing the crown. You are the crown.